Hello, Potato, and welcome to Weekend Magic for September the 3rd, 2022, Labor Day weekend here in the US. And as you can probably guess, due to the fact we have the Dumbo Minnie Mouse, the main attraction, plush on the table here, it is time to discuss last week's release of Mickey Mouse, the main attraction, the Dumbo Flying Elephant ride, which we have here. So a couple of things, we did not get the backpack, and if you order these yourself, of course, you are well aware that the Mickey ears, they're really mini ears, were a pre-order and not available at the time that the series released. However, they were a very short pre-order as they've already shipped and are on their way. They're just not here in time for today's video, so we'll deal with them probably in next week's video. But we do have the plush, the pin, and the key to look at. So, as we usually do, let's start with the small stuff and go down there and look at the pin. And here is the pin. And of course, as usual, they have placed the label right in front of the pin, so you can't see what it looks like without taking it out of the wrapper. But if you remember last time in the Prince Charming carousel video, I had noticed they stopped putting months on here, because before they'd said, Jan, Feb, Mar, April, and so on. And last month it just said carousel, and I'd wondered if that was because carousel was just too long of a word to fit in a month, so they just put 7, or if this far in, they'd finally given up on trying to actually have these be a monthly release and had just changed the way they were being named from that point. And it would seem that that's probably the case, because if you look here, this is MMA Cont for continuity 8. So not OG, but 8. Dumbo limited release pin. Series 8 of 12. So I'm guessing the last 4 are also just going to have 9, 10, 11, and 12 on them, and not say September, October, November, December, or Sept, Oct, Nov, Dec. Which is funny, because technically this did release in August. Maybe about a week later than I think it would have if they were on schedule, but it did release technically in August and is therefore not late. But let's take it out of the package and take a look at it. Of course, there's the words on the back that we won't read because there's a pin back in front of them. We'll read them off the back of the key, as we have done thus far. And slide out. And here we go. That's not bad. Getting kind of toy soldier vibes here, actually. Which I know it's, probably not that big of a difference between like toy soldier outfit and like circus ringmaster outfit. But we do, as normal, have a little pin on pin going here. It is just the hat again. Just his hat. I wonder what the, because it's actually, it's not just the hat. It is still, the base pin does go up that high. I wonder what it looks like underneath there. If it's just blank, it's probably just blank metal, like that Shang-Chi pin that wasn't supposed to come apart that came apart. But yeah, it looks, it's cute. It's not nothing spectacular going on here. We have some glittery bits up here at the hat band and the lapels. Those aren't lapels. What are the pauldrons? I don't know. The shoulders. The shoulders. We have some just basic gold shoes. We didn't extend the glitter down to there. And the gold trim on his little jacket is also glittery. So I feel like this was maybe not going to be one of the better plush, looking at the pin, just because the pin's kind of it's a perfectly competent pin. It absolutely fits in with the rest of the series, and unfortunately did get a little winged up there at the corners in shipping, but that's fine. Yeah, it's a competent pin. I don't think any of the pins have been bad. It's just that some of the plush have been not great. But there's the pin. It's another pin. Series 8 of 12. We are now officially 2/3 of the way through the pins. Let's move on to the next thing, which is the key. And as always, it's the hardest thing to do on the video because it's the plastic on it is just so reflective that it's hard to get a good shot of it without just getting the light. But here we go. Yeah, it's probably about as good as we're gonna get. There's our Dumbo key. It's not bad. It's a little plain, maybe. Got the big Dumbo D up there. And I was wondering why they had made Dumbo gold, because the ride vehicles aren't gold. But I think at the very top, is there maybe a gold Dumbo? Like left over from the 50th anniversary or something? I don't know. But it's not one of the more extravagant ones. It's pretty straightforward. We got the 50. We've got Dumbo with the feather. Nothing wrong with it. Nothing spectacular about it. Just kind of middle of the road. And what else? I have nothing else to say about it. It's definitely not one of the more creative ones. But hey, maybe that means the plush will be better. Because I have a theory now that, you know, when you play a game like, say, Fallout or Outer Worlds or something, you have a certain number of points, and and pen and paper tabletop obviously would apply into this as well. You have your certain number of starting points to build your character with, and you can only put so many points in each category. And I feel like that's what goes on with Mickey Mouse, the main attraction. They have a certain number of points. Some months they're putting all those points in the keys. Some months they're putting like all those points in the plush. It's just they just can't even out where the creativity points go. But let's read the back. Buckle up for a twirl on the Dumbo the Flying Elephant attraction in Fantasyland area. First taking flight on October 1st, 1971 in the Magic Kingdom Park at Walt Disney World Resort. This attraction features Dumbo-shaped vehicles with outstretched ears. And with a lever, you can move our beloved pachyderm up or down. Enjoy the view. Is that what Minnie said? Let's take a look at Minnie's card. I mean, obviously, it's just going to say Disneyland, not Disney World, probably. Buckle up for twirl on the Dumbo the Flying Elephant attraction. August 16th, 1955. So yeah, it's exactly the same, except for this talks about Fantasyland area being in Disneyland Park instead of the Magic Kingdom Park. But yeah, there's a key. Nothing wrong with it. It's just maybe not one of the most exciting ones. But that means there's one more thing now. That means there's our grand finale to look at. And let's move to that now. So here we are, the big deal. Although I guess technically the key is the big deal. The key is the part that sells out the fastest. The key, I think, is the only part that's not available. I think the backpack might even have still been available last time I looked, which was admittedly a couple days ago. But let's check out the plush. Yep, here he is. Definitely get a toy soldier vibe off that helmet there. Let's slide him out of the bag and get a first look at him, and then we'll put him up on a stand and put him next to Minnie. All right, so check out that shirt. So I mean, it is the same crinkle that we have on Minnie's dress, we have on Mickey's jacket. I don't know necessarily that works on a jacket, but yeah, let's get him up on a stand and see how he looks. All right, here we go, side by side, Mickey and Minnie. And I was the first thing that leaps out to me is that his pants are like a much more like faded red than her dress. I know the dress and the jacket are made like the same material, and the pants are not. The pants look like he stole them from Pinocchio, honestly, to me. Yeah, those are Pinocchio pants. I'm not in love with this one. First of all, let me point out something else on Minnie here, because I've pointed this out, I think, on a couple of her plush, which is that, again, they've put the waist of her dress way too high, and it's caused stuff to pooch out at the top here, which again, I'm not a fan of. And yeah, it's I don't like when that happens. There's only 2 or 3 in the series that have that problem, and this is one of them, which is probably why she wasn't on display. I did have to go get her out of a box. But yeah, so let's look at Mickey though on his own. So I would, my first thought would be to worry about how these little creases are going to hold up over time, but she's had those for 2 years without a problem, so I guess that's not a concern. I don't like the Pinocchio pants. I don't like that they're such a washed out red compared to her dress. I mean, if you're going to put these side by side, these need to be the same color. The skin's a good match, as has been the case. Shoes are just kind of meh. We got some thread sticking out of his little detail in here, but that's just a loose thread. You could clip that off if you wanted to. It's not a huge problem. Got the big tag. We've got the tail. It's there. The The tail on the coat's kind of nice too. He does not want to stand up straight. Guess there's been a problem all along, hasn't it? His little shoulder epaulets, is that what those are? Are those epaulets? I can't remember. Of course, it does say 50 here on the back of the ear. We do have a little creasing up here on the head bobble, which does nicely match Minnie's pretty closely. It doesn't have that little gouge. You can't even see that in the camera. This little gouge here does not appear on Minnie, but otherwise, the feather, it's certainly a similar drawing. And yeah, it's a nice pattern across. But yeah, honestly, I'm not disliking him because like some of my other reasons. Let's put the camera up a little more so you can see them fully. I don't need to see the table quite so much. There we go. That's better. Now you can see their heads, or all of their heads. His hat's a little tall. It's not as much of a letdown as, say, Peter Pan, which is almost more of an issue in that one, that it seems that they tried to do something nice and failed. As it is, it doesn't really work. I mean, can we get these shoulders to sit flat? That's part of the problem for me, I think, is, I don't know, he just seems a little slapdash. Like they were getting towards the deadline on him and they didn't know what to do with him, and so they did this. And I really think it's these pants. These pants are doing a lot of disservice to me. She's definitely the better of the two, for my money, for my opinion. I don't think she's particularly fantastic either, but I feel like, I mean, the dress works better than these pants. Man, these pants. I don't like these pants. That's solidly what it is. I don't think the jacket should have been done with this fabric. I get why they did it, but I don't think it looks good. I don't think that, I mean, I think we're going kind of almost like a circus tenty sort of thing here, which is part of why it makes sense. He's supposed to be more of a ringleader look, and yeah, it doesn't make sense why he has that. So ultimately, I mean, it's the quality's fine. He doesn't feel cheap or anything. He just seems uninspired. Like, just they didn't know what to do. The deadline was coming, and this is where we ended up. I'm almost tempted to say it's my least favorite so far, but that really probably is Peter Pan, because again, I can see what they were going for and failed. This one is just a letdown. Yeah, not a fan of part 8. I mean, hopefully the ears will do some redemption when we get those, but yeah. I mean, the pin's fine. Pin's a pin. It's a normal pin. Looks like the rest of the pins. I'm fine with it. The key is fine. I don't think there's anything particularly special going on here, but it's not awful. It's a key. It's fine. It goes with the other keys. But the plush is definitely where I'm kind of checking out on this one. I can pretty much guarantee you this one's not going to end up on display, because first of all, she wasn't on display, and this is definitely not a situation where the Mickey brings the Minnie up. I think Mickey might make the Minnie down a little bit. It's these pants. Alright, well, I think that's going to wrap this up. I could sit here and just complain for like 20 minutes, but I don't know that anybody wants to watch that, so we'll wrap it up here. I hope you found this all interesting and entertaining. If you did, go ahead, give it a like, subscribe to the channel. Am I wrong? Do you think I'm wrong? Is this Mickey plush like one of the better ones? Let me know in the comments. But I'm going to go take him now and see if we can't find Pinocchio to give Pinocchio his pants back. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.